Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez defending herself from accusations of hypocrisy after wearing a tax the rich dress to a star-studded gala where tickets cost $35,000.
Oh my God, tax the rich. What a model, AOC. Wow, I didn't know you model as well.
When Aurora and I were first kind of partnered, we really started having a conversation about what it means to be working class women of color at the Met. And we said, you know, we can't just play along, but we need to break the fourth wall and challenge some of the institutions. And you know, while the Met is known for its spectacle, we should have a conversation about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so housekeeping first. She didn't pay for the ticket. She didn't pay for the dress. So just put it there.
So who did?
Yeah. What was donated, and I don't know what, I don't know what FEC form that goes on. But today, everyone is talking about it. Isn't this just, which was the point, right? So doesn't AOC just win?
I guess she wins in terms of her goal of furthering the conversation, which she did. Everybody is talking about it. But I actually found this infuriating, and it has nothing to do with her dress. If you watch the way that these elites were walking the red carpet, they're walking unabated. Their faces are open. They get to smile for all of the cameras. And all of the working class people serving them have to be faceless. Yep. They are masked. And we've seen this as a habit with the left. And she claims to be fighting for the people. And I watched a video of her having her train carried through the carpet into the Met by a bunch of people working there who were masked. We saw Nancy Pelosi do this with her big outdoor dinner while the servants, many people of color, by the way, serving them. We saw this with President Obama's party. So this idea now of the left and the elites allowing the pandemic, and they've never had to deal with it. They all flew in on private jets. They don't have to worry about vaccine mandates for their commercial travel if they want to go see their family. But the people that they think should serve them and work for them, they have to be subjugated to all of these rules. So it's not about her dress. It's not about criticizing her body, as she said in her defense of this. This is about Marxism and communism at its core, which is the elites get to do whatever you want. And all the peasants and the little people have to serve them, and they have to obey all the rules if they want to just go to work for a day.
Dana, what do you think about that point?
A couple things. So she is AOC Antoinette, and this is the perfect event for her. The Champagne Socialists all get together once a year. And to Katie, that is a very good point about the working class people that were there, because the Democratic Party has a little bit of a problem. And the Republicans have taken a different tack in the last several years, that they're more of the party of the working class. And you might start to see a little bit more of this if the Republicans can figure out how to do this. She didn't pay for the ticket. The ticket was donated. Do you think that the person who donated the ticket to the nonprofit fundraiser didn't deduct that from their taxes? Of course they did. And they didn't show up in hybrid cars and Green New Deal vehicles. They are right now trying to pass a $3.5 trillion bill and reverse engineering it like it's going to help all sorts of people. And the trust in government is at such a low ebb right now that I don't know if it's going to pass or not. The thing for her is she knows how to get attention. She does it very well. She's a beautiful young woman. She's got a big following. My last point is, I really respect the designer, Aurora James, impressive person. But in her Twitter feed, AOC said that she was an immigrant. Okay, she comes from Canada.
Right.
Okay, it's not like she was like making her way up from, a really tough place like Bangladesh or Nicaragua. Like she came from Toronto.
She came here only could speak Canadian. So it must have been really tough.
The other thing on that, too, is AOC is not working class. Okay, she grew up in a very rich suburb. She went to Boston University. She was a bartender for a short period of time. And now she's a congresswoman living in Washington, D.C., in one of the most expensive buildings in D.C., and she lives above a Whole Foods and drives a Tesla. Yep. So, come on.
Bernie Sanders would have stood across from the steps of the gala.
It's great.
In the coat?
With a little placard that said tax the rich and a bullhorn. And that's a protest. This is a performance. This is a pop star socialist trying to get street cred for the slogan, but also wanting to hang out with celebrities. Here's how this is going down. Anna Wintour runs the costume wing of the Met. All right, so this is her gala.
I didn't know there was a costume wing. There is?
There's a wing.
It's incredible.
So she sends AOC a ticket, and everybody else, as Dana said, writes this off as a tax deduction. So AOC goes, she gets buzz. The Met Gala gets buzz. We're talking about it. And all these rich liberals get to feel like, yeah, we're virtuous. Yeah, sure, tax the rich. And then the next day, their accountants are working 24/7 to lower their taxable income. The funny thing is, AOC writes the tax code. She's raising awareness. Okay, we know liberals want to raise taxes on the rich. We've known that for 100 years. She could write a tax bill. AOC hasn't ever written a bill that's gotten out of committee her entire career. She just lets Nancy and Chuck do it with a room full of lobbyists. They carve out the loopholes, and then in a next cycle, the Republicans meet with the lobbyists, and they carve out loopholes. They do it every time, and, you know, she gets what she wants.
Brian?
6 out of every $10. Right now, if you work in New York, if you have $10, you have to give away 6. How much more money do you want? 61% of everyone's income on the books between state, local, and city taxes goes to somebody else. And yet, most of those people that are rich, very few are inheriting it. A lot of them are working 60, 70 hours a week, supporting other people who are not working or who work for government jobs. The other thing is, to bring up, Mayor de Blasio was also there. This guy's taking a vow of poverty. He's the Marxist who's really against the rich, and he's for the working class, and he hates cops, and he hangs out with the rich and famous. That's where he's going to end up in his years. I just find the whole thing detestable, but I feel that I feel as though this is going to be the preliminary to the Manchin AOC heavyweight bout that's going to be taking place in 2 or 3 weeks.
I don't know. Joe Manchin was pretty dismissive of her on the Sunday shows. He was like, we haven't really spoken. I don't really care.
She wants 3.5 children.
You know, he wasn't there at the Met last night after she's accused him all week of being this rich, expensive lobbyist guy.
He doesn't want to spend. He doesn't want to spend 3.5 trillion.
Maybe he'll spend 1.5.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.